Welcome to the Barnes Flyover. This is your monthly update on all things 104th Fighter Wing, what's happening at Barnes Air National Guard Base, and how they're making an impact right here in the community of Westfield. Whether you're here to learn something new, check out what's happening, or just to hang out and listen, this podcast has got you covered. Let's take off into today's episode.
Johnny on the intro. Welcome back. Happy 4th episode. Welcome to the Barnes Flyover. I am Jay Hewitt. That's Melanie Cassano, 104 Public Affairs.
Hi, I'm Melanie.
Didn't mean to jump on you, sorry.
That's totally okay.
So excited.
Yeah, and Johnny, our voiceover there, he's going to be a senior next year. So
very cool.
Very cool. I can't wait to see what he's going to be doing. So today, on our 4th episode of the podcast, we've made it to number 4.
4 months already. That is wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't think I wanted to do 1, and now we've got 4.
We made it into the summer. How was your 4th of July?
Oh, my 4th of July was awesome. My son graduated from Navy boot camp, and he is going active duty Navy, and I'm so excited. He actually just called me on the way here. He's classing up on Monday.
Classing up, what does that mean?
So class up means he's actually going to get to start class, which is exciting because when you're in a waiting period, you don't know what to do with yourself, and you get to do all the dirty work like cleaning the bathrooms and stuff. So he's excited to start school.
No more bathroom cleaning?
Yeah.
All right, moving up.
Yep. So what was your 4th of July like?
My 4th of July was good. Had some car issues, but I have a new car on the way, but still got to go to the beach, see some fireworks. So a lot of the...
So you saw the fireworks on the beach?
No, my sister's boyfriend goes to New Hampshire every year and
gotcha.
spends a lot of money.
And you're getting a Wrangler, right?
I am getting a Wrangler. I used to lease one, and I missed the ducks on the windshield, so we gotta put them back up.
Okay. So this coming up on this Barnes Flyover, we have a special guest, Kristen Martin. She has been a friend of mine for many, many years, but she has just put on Chief Master Sergeant. So we're going to learn about her journey to become a chief with the 104th Fighter Wing and hear about some of her adventures that she's had. So that's coming up right at the end. And I hear there's this fun fact in history that you've been talking about.
Yes, so you have your fun history corner. I got jealous. I want to hop on board. So I got a fun fact for you. July 10th, 1943 is our fun fact in history, and also a big day for World War II. That was the Allied invasion of Sicily, a.k.a. Operation Husky, which was a major campaign of World War II where Allied forces invaded the Italian island of Sicily and took it from the Axis forces of Fascist Italy and Nazi Germany. Big turning point in the war that ultimately got Italy removed from the war. So big turning point in World War II. I thought it was a cool fun fact for July 10th. So
that is cool. I think I skipped right over our intro questions.
Okay, we can do intro questions.
So we decided to do these questions. We were doing 3. Now we're just going to do 1. They're kind of like our icebreaker, but still fun. And they're questions that neither one of us know what we're going to ask each other. So my question, it's on everybody's mind. Are you an Apple or an Android?
I have never owned an Apple product in my entire life, and that includes iPod shuffles. I used to have like a SanDisk MP3 knockoff. Never had an Apple product. Don't know what is. I had a work iPhone once. I didn't like it.
And you do have a work Mac.
I do have a work Mac.
We are photo
Still
and
don't
video
like
editors, so we use Macs.
I use it, but we're getting better with it. So it's good to branch out in different software, I guess. But that was a cool question.
Okay.
Let's see. What do I have for you?
I just get nervous.
I know. I like to throw some hard ones at you. What is your favorite summer activity?
Oh my God, hiking. I think you asked me this last time, but hiking. I like hiking. I like going from like the really hot weather into the woods where it's cooler. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I like hiking.
Cool.
Yep. So there's that. All right, let's get going into our episode here.
Yeah, we had a very, very busy June for you guys. So we're going to take a look back at what we did in June in the community, what we did in June on base. And that's all for you coming up next.
All right, what we did in the community. So we are continuing with base tours. We had our Westfield Intermediate School come by. They are located right outside the base, so it's always fun to have our really local kids come by. We had our Cub Scouts, Westfield Homeschools. We had them. I do have a picture of one of them. Their kids were so cute. I will say, out of all the tours I've done, this Westfield Homeschool group was by far the largest and the youngest and the most well-behaved. So kudos to you guys, because these kids were just so much fun to be with.
You mean they weren't trying to FaceTime during like
Live flying, no. No, these kids were just genuinely interested and behaved and listened, and they were just such a great group of kids. All of our tours are good, but these were, going into it being the largest group and the youngest group, I was a little worried, and they were great. They were great. So we also had our Young Professional Organization with Dave Fontaine is our honorary 131st Fighter Squadron commander. I think you did that tour.
Yeah, so I didn't know that we had an honorary 104th Wing commander, which is John DeVoy, and then we also have an honorary 131st Fighter Squadron commander, and that is Dave Fontaine. I did not know we had two. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. That was a good one. We've done some flyovers. I don't know if anybody was there for the Southwick Motocross. We did have a flyover. It was way above the clouds. Everybody could hear it, but we could not see it.
I heard them taking off for that flyover.
I think everybody heard him take them off. I was
Well,
there.
I live across the street, so I heard them taking off for that flyover.
Yeah, they definitely could hear them. And then we're like, where is it? Did anybody see that? And it was completely above the clouds. We didn't see a thing. I had my camera ready. And so we also did the Belmont Stakes in New York. We did that flyover as well. We've got, so here's a big one that I want to talk about. We do internships on the base. Not all jobs can do internships, but we do have some areas that can support local high school students and local college students. So we did with Westville Tech Academy. We had a 3-day internship with our vehicle maintenance. So they got to see what we do on base as far as vehicle maintenance. I believe they were in the collision class with Mr. Brown. So he had reached out and asked if we could do a little 3-day with them. And then I'm so excited because I have a public affairs intern. June Keeler is from Hampton or Wilbraham, I can't remember, but she's with us for the summer, and she's literally coming on into our office, and she's taking photos and editing. Today we did some studio photos. I'm going to try to get her to write some articles before her little tour is done. But what you need to know about these internships is that we can offer college credits. We have a whole program where we work with the college and have goals and things where you would actually get college credits for doing the internship with us. It is an unpaid internship. But if you're like, say you're with public affairs, if you take photos, we do publish those photos under your name, and you could get global recognition if you write a story. Same thing. You're getting a lot of experience. I will say you do not have to enlist into the National Guard if you intern with us, but it is a great, unique opportunity to see what we do on base and kind of use your skills. So, yeah, so we had the internships going on this month, and I think that's it. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. We had a very busy June for base. June drill, we had a lot of exercises going on. TCCC, Tactical Combat Casualty Care. So if I'm not mistaken, this was the first time that this was done at Barnes?
This was the first time that we have instructors certified to teach that course. So prior to that, they'd have to go out to Hartford Healthcare and work with the Army. So now we have actually trained instructors on our base to teach this class, and it is very intense, and it's well needed, but very intense. We have an article about it in our Air Scoop, which should be released tomorrow, Friday, what's tomorrow?
July 11th.
July 11th. You should see our podcast and our Air Scoop be released at the same time. So there's a story about that in there.
Yeah, so make sure to check that out, written by the great Melanie Cassano. That event had 18 members of the medical group, which was a 5-day, 40-hour course culminating in a capstone event, which are the pictures that you can see on the screen here. If you are listening via Spotify or anywhere that doesn't have a video element, this podcast is also on our YouTube page. Don't miss out. See all these really cool pictures that we took, because it does go along really well with the podcast. So that was the TCCC. The very next day, the same day actually, we had CDAR. That stands for Crash Damaged Aircraft Recovery. Our CDAR team is amazing. We have one of the only actual CDAR training aircraft in New England. That is 494. I believe in 2021 they had that converted to a just specifically CDAR aircraft, which has been really amazing. Chief Land, who oversees the CDAR team, can't say enough great things about the ability to conduct these exercises at Barnes. And even in this exercise, we had, I believe it was 6 different Air Force bases participate with over 60 participants.
Wow.
We had 104th Fighter Wing members. We had the CDAR team from Hanscom Air Force Base. We had the 439th Airlift Wing from Westover participate. Our 103rd friends down in Bradley, the airlift wing, helped participate. The 105th airlift wing from Stewart Air National Guard Base in Newburgh, New York. Love Newburgh, but did a lot of port calls there while in the Coast Guard. And then finally, the 106th Rescue Wing from Francis S. Jabreski Air National Guard Base in West Hampton Beach, New York. So a lot of bag lifts, really fun exercise, whole June drill, 2-day event where there was a classroom portion, and then in the actual portion they had to get the downed aircraft out of the woods. So really practical scenario where if you get called to a damaged aircraft recovery, you don't know what it's going to look like, you don't know what all of the variables of that situation are going to be. So in speaking with Chief Land, they love to mix up the exercises. Every CEDAR exercise is a little bit different just because you never know what you're going to go into. So that is just always ready. So I love covering those CEDAR exercises. Another thing that we covered recently, the DICT. So that stands for Distributed Integrated Combat Turn, also known as Hot Turn. Essentially what this is we had the C-130H Hercules from the 103rd Airlift Wing be able to refuel F-35s from Vermont in Burlington and the F-15s from the 104th. So they were refueling these fighter jets while both engines were still on. Not only that, we also swapped out ordnance as well. So the ability to conduct fast refueling in a unit that's not your own, with a plane that's not your own, and working with other airmen that you don't typically work with. It was just an amazing exercise. The amount of work and just cohesion that went into this exercise while I was taking pictures and just watching it all was really amazing. Colonel Neil Rugg Byrne, who actually used to be a pilot for the 104th and flew the A-10s for a while.
Yeah, he did. He was one of our favorites.
Yeah, he's great. So he's the wing commander of the 103rd Airlift Wing at Bradley now. He had a really great quote, which I wanted to read off real quick for you. The distributable integrated combat turn and our ability to execute it the way we just did shows our pacing competitors that their potential ability to target us is much, much more complex, and these ICT exercises show our ability to distribute and operate from anywhere. So really that's just the crux of what this exercise was. It was our mission readiness. It was our ability to make sure we can get up in the air as fast as possible, anywhere, anytime, with any airmen that we're working with, and even swap out ordnance while we're doing it. So that was a really, really complex exercise that went off.
That story's also in our Air Scoop, and it's just neat to see the three different, like all of these exercises that we're doing with multiple organizations, multiple wings. It's just nice to see everybody come together and do that kind of training.
Yeah, I love covering joint exercises because you get to meet people you don't meet every day, and you get to see how different shops run it. Like if someone else does it a different way, you can kind of compare notes. And so I love covering all the joint exercises. So that was really great. We also did a Chief Forge event on base with Chief Martin. Might be able to talk a little bit more about it. I have a couple questions about the history of it and just the overall purpose, but here are some pictures that our amazing airman A1C Harris took out of his own pocket. Wasn't even working that day, just showed up with the camera and just started taking pictures.
I have to say, it looked like a lot of fun, so I don't know if Elijah wasn't taking those photos, we may have gone out there. I just wanted to see it. This is cool. It's nice to see the higher ranking going out there and doing some of the things that the lower ranking airmen would be doing. And I did see that they changed tires on the aircraft on the flight line, and I thought that was pretty cool.
So it's funny, I was actually out covering our ICT exercises that we were doing at the 104th leading up to the big ICT exercise at Westover, and I turn around and I just see all of these chiefs towing an F-15 in a circle over and over again. I'm like, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that doesn't happen every day, I will tell you that. We do not have all of our chiefs on the flight line taking the tires off. So
yeah,
cool.
Chief Forge, that was a really cool event. First-hand experience, I had the pleasure to participate in our first annual Chaplain's Golf and Grow event. I'm really excited about this event. It looks like it's going to be a tradition for years and years to come here at the 104th. So that is the trophy in the middle that went to the contracting team. The winning team, Master Sergeant Staples, and a few others that I did not have on my notes, but I wrote a story on it as
in the air scoop.
is in the air scoop. So
Yeah, that was a good one. That's the first time they did that. Our chaplain, we talked in the last podcast, and he's just really doing great things. He's trying to think outside the box just to kind of get people involved. So he did a classroom portion in the morning, and then they went out and played golf in the afternoon, and it looked like it was a great day.
was a great day, and I am the proud owner of a very prestigious golf trophy now. It is
really?
the most resilient team.
I love it. And that's awesome.
Thank you. I'm very honored and humbled to accept the award on behalf of Public Affairs. So
Okay.
we share it. We share the award. So
It looks like we also had base cleanup day.
base cleanup day was rained out a couple times, but I love base cleanup day because there's music blasting, there's people laughing, there's camaraderie. I just love it as like a team morale building event. Pick up a wheelbarrow, pick up a rake, and just get to work and just spread some mulch around, have some fun, make the base look nice. So I love taking pictures of events like that.
That one's been annual. So I've been on the base for about 28 years, and I think we've done it every year since.
I want to say it's a Air Force thing, right? It's not just a Barnes thing.
I'm not sure, but we'll have to follow up on that.
Next
And if anybody knows, put it in the comments.
Episode 5. Get ready for that cliffhanger.
And then lastly, there's one more thing. The Shots Finney flight. You took that one.
So our operations group commander, Michael Shot Glass, had his Finney flight in the F-15 Eagle recently. He just recently reported to F-35 training school, so that will be amazing.
Yeah, we have about 6 pilots right now out for F-35 training.
Yeah, so conversion, I know we keep getting questions on social media. What's going on with conversion? Are you guys on track? We are right where we want to be. We are still having pilots come back in. We are still having pilots go out. It is a very fluid.
Yes, yeah.
So-
We're still losing our F-15s in hopes for the F-35. We got to make space for them.
Well,
But
that's what the farewell party is for.
yes, so we're going to get into that in just a minute. So our community events coming up, we have more base tours scheduled. South Hadley Veterans, the Massachusetts Civil Air Patrol, and Pratt & Whitney. They're a common one on our base. And then the alumni dinner's coming up July 16th. They do have a Facebook page, so if you're into that, you can follow things on Facebook. July 16th at the Pioneer Valley Club is our alumni dinner. This is probably the most popular one. If anything, it's because we can fit people inside and outside. It's always a lot of fun, and I was there last month, and they're selling some pretty cool looking swag. So T-shirts,
Gotta
hats,
get that
things
swag.
like that, polo shirts. And then we also have our Westfield Starfire. So I'm actually wearing the T-shirt from one of theirs. The Westfield Starfires is hosting a military appreciation night in honor of the 104th Fighter Wing on July 25th. This is probably our 3rd time doing it with them. All 104th related. Even the 104th has designed the jersey based off of the New England Eagles Over New England memory book that we have going on. We will have our Commander Moon throwing the first pitch. We have our very own Tech Sergeant Hannah Smith is going to sing the national anthem. We will have an enlistment going on during one of the intermissions, and then a lot of our members and their families will be out there holding the large flag for the opening ceremony. So it's always a lot of fun. It's just a fun night. There's Northbound Butcher Block's going to be there with some good food, and so it's just a lot of fun. If you're an alumni or military member, come on out, support the 104th Fighter Wing, and take a look at the Starfires baseball team. That'll be fun. And then we have August 15th is the, so we have a few events going on for the F-15 farewell party events. There's a golf tournament going on August 15th at Shaker Farms Country Club.
I have to defend my title.
So that's happening. And then later on in August, we also have the farewell to the F-15 party on drill weekend. That'll be August 23rd. We're going to have a live band, and there's going to be catered food, and we've got information on that. And then we're also doing a flyover for the Oshkosh Air Show, July 21 to 27 in Wisconsin.
I hear that is a very big air show. I hear people flock from all over the country and even all over the world to go to Oshkosh.
Of course,
That'll
we
be a
will
great
be
one.
there. Yes. So that's what we've got going on in the community. Jay, we've got some base events coming up, right?
We do got some base events. A couple are TBD. I can't wait to post these on social. Not finalized yet, but make sure you stay updated on our Facebook and Instagram pages to see what we have in the works for July, because it's some really exciting stuff. The things that I can talk about, we do have the ICT exercise. So this is a capstone exercise, and again, we're going to be working on those distributed integrated combat turns, and this will be more of a capstone exercise, so a little bit larger. I believe there is going to be a little bit more of a inspectable item within this exercise. So hope to do the same thing. I know when we did the initial exercise, we were able to get back into the air well before the required time. So we're looking to rock that again, so that'll be fun. No July drill, that's a big thing, but we will see everyone back again in August, and we have again a lot going on for August drill. We have the golf party, we have the F-15 farewell to the Eagle party, and I cannot wait to do that one. That's going to be a lot of fun.
And make sure to check in on your teams. Even though we don't have a July drill, you guys are still part of the 104th family if you're a Guards member, and you are welcome at any time to come on the base. Just a reminder that we do have a wellness center, and at that wellness center is all free goodies, from food to clothing to car parts to, you never know. There's just stuff donated all the time. Girl Scout cookies, I think, are still available. So even though you don't have drill, you can still come on base and say hi, check in with your team. And if you are full-time on the base, check in with your team that's not here because they're Guards members, and make sure that they're all set for the summer. So, yeah. I do want to put a plug in for our book, because I did get some exciting news today. So the Farewell to the F-15, it's the memory book that the Thunderbolt Council has put together. We've been doing some pre-sales for that, or they have been doing some pre-sales for that book, and they were going to do it until the book comes in. Well, the book was due to come in August 1st. I just got an email that says I think they're coming in by Monday. So if you haven't pre-ordered, you might want to get going on that. But yeah, the Eagles over New England, the history of the F-15 at Barnes from 2007 to 2025, that's 18 years. Mm-hmm. The second longest running aircraft that we've had on the base. What was the first?
The A-10.
You're right. How long?
Let's see, in public math, 1987 to 2007, 40 years?
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, so this is a really good book. It has over 85 photographers from the local community as well as global listed in that book. So it's one of a kind collector's edition memory book. Yeah, take a look at it when it comes in.
Our fact checker is indicating to me that might not be a correct
38
information.
years.
87 to 07?
Yeah.
That's
20 years. Okay, well, all right, well, we'll figure this out and get back to you on that.
No
one.
more math on podcasts. This is a new executive order.
It's 40 years. Anyways, the A-10 was here longer than the F-15. It's still the longest running aircraft that we've had on the base. In my opinion, still the best. But anyway, so we're getting ready to have our guest come on. So we're going to just take a break for a minute, and we're going to get our guest set up to find out how the journey to become a chief at the 104th Fighter Wing.
Awesome. We will be right back. Thank you.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
Hello again. We're back, and we have a friend here. This is Chief Master Sergeant Kristen Martin. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
And so we want to know all about your journey to become a chief at the 104th Fighter Wing, but I want to start off with some previous questions. Why did you join the military?
So I was the child of a barnstormer. My mother, retired Master Sergeant Terry Lee Crowther, was in the dental clinic. She joined in 81. She joined maybe a little bit before that, but I was born in 81, and I would say probably by the time I was 4 or 5 years old, I was coming out to the base. So I was that little kid that was like, my mom wears combat boots, like on the playground. I would come out on drill weekends sometimes. I got to go over and eat at the DFAC.
Oh, fun.
So I knew from a very young age that I wanted to join
Wanted to do what Mom
Barnes.
did. That's
Yep.
awesome. What did your dad do?
So my dad was a part-time police officer in the hill towns in Cummington and Goshen. My grandfather was actually the chief of police in Cummington, so it's kind of funny now. There's a second Chief Martin in the family.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yep. And then he also worked at Pro Brush in Florence when I was younger.
Okay. So how old were you when you joined?
I was 17 when I joined. I had graduated high school, and I came out to the base with my mom, and we went to recruiting. And Regina
Major. Yep.
Roach now, was my recruiter. And I said, I want to join, so you don't need to convince me. I don't want to sit behind a desk. Oh,
There's your mom.
There's my mom, yep. I don't want to sit behind a desk, and I don't want to work with my mom. So we went around on base, did the tour, and I ended up joining the engine shop.
So maintenance squadron. So, okay. So when you first joined, what was your plan?
So I first joined, I was going to go to college full-time. I ended up having the opportunity to get hired very young as a technician. I also deployed pretty soon after, back in '03, and any Barnstormers know that deployment I'm referring to. And then I came back and started working full-time, so I did some classes part-time at night. But prior to that, I was looking at becoming a veterinarian because I love animals.
Aw.
So,
'03, that was Jordan?
yes.
Yes, yeah, that was a big one for us. Okay, so now you're here, you're in the maintenance squadron, you're full-time on base, and so what are you thinking now at this point in your career? Are you thinking, I got to get out, I got to stay?
I was loving it. Those years that I was in the engine shop, I got to travel. I mean, the number of places I went, the number of TDYs I went on to, the places I got to go, the experiences I had, I was doing things that nobody in my friend group from high school was doing.
Yeah,
I was seeing things. Yeah, I loved it. I loved working on the engines. When I did finally choose to move on from the engine shop, I moved into the mock. That was when the A-10s left and we were transitioning to the F-15s. And there was an opportunity for me to move to the mock where I would also be able to get promoted to tech sergeant.
And so what's the mock?
Maintenance Operations Center.
Okay. And did you move because you were working on A-10 engines and then it needed to change to an F-15 engine?
That was part of the reason why I moved full-time, because I kind of decided I didn't want to retrain, and also I had opportunities in the Maintenance Operations Center, and I could see a path forward. At that time, I retrained, so I went back to tech school and went to plans and scheduling school. So something that is important for young airmen is you need to understand the pathways that are before you depending on what section you're in. And sometimes in order to move forward, you do have to change careers or possibly, change sections. There's different opportunities.
Right. And it's not that easy going to another tech school, especially when you're a little bit higher ranking and you've kind of already been established. So a lot of people don't know that when you retrain and you go to another tech school, you're literally going to tech school with the kids that have come from basic training. But then you're kind of set back a little bit depending on what branch you are. But I know with the Air Force, we had to live in a hotel and we didn't PT with them. And it was just, but you went to school with them and then they looked at you with your rank. What rank were you at tech school?
So I was a tech sergeant when I went down.
That's pretty high active duty.
Yeah, but there was other retrainees in my class, and it was a great opportunity to meet other people and be able to network and kind of hear about how they did things. But yeah, we were kind of separated from the
main
direct
group. Yeah.
line students that were there. But we still got to interact with them and kind of guide them and give them a little bit of advice if they needed it. So it was good.
That's good. I liked that part when I was there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. You said you did a lot of TDYs. I do know that you went to Afghanistan.
So that was a 6-month deployment. That was the most recent deployment that I was on. That was back in 2019. That was interesting because we worked with a lot of contractors, and it was myself and now retired Senior Master Sergeant Bob Ackley. And we got to interact with a bunch of different units, and it was a different perspective, and it really changed how I looked at things when I came back from there. Because I at that point, I was working in quality assurance, And so every little thing seemed like it was this huge thing and it was an emergency. And then after having been deployed and coming back, I was able to have a different perspective on things where, I was a lot more relaxed, and it made
Life
me
slowed
better
down
at
a
my
little bit.
job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, oh, that's good. I think that's the same for most people who are in the Air National Guard. When we get to have some time on the active duty side, or even just a TDY or deployment going somewhere else, you just get a different look on things, good or bad. And it's just good for you. It's good for growing, and it's good for learning, and that's
Yeah.
good.
Chief, you mentioned all the fun different things that you were able to do while you were in. Where does the incentive flight in the A-10 rank among those?
I wish I could have an incentive flight in the A-10, but I would have had to sit on the pilot's lap. So it was the F-15.
Oh,
I
the
didn't know
F-15,
either. I didn't know
okay.
either. We're like, what
Man,
is
I
that in
am-
the picture?
So the
Didn't we have a two-seater A-10 though?
No.
We didn't? Oh,
No.
okay.
No,
That's my facts.
the F-15 incentive flight was amazing. I was scared.
Who was your pilot? Just curious.
Nate Zajac.
Oh, my favorite.
No,
So-
yours is
Oh,
Sajak.
mine's-
Mine is
okay.
Zajac.
Funny thing is, we grew up next door to each other.
Oh, wow.
So we're at my mother's
crazy.
house in Goshen. We were neighbors, and so when we got to go up in the aircraft, we flew over our parents' houses. We flew over the town of Goshen. Very
So-
proud from the town of Goshen.
So that since you were neighbors, I would hope he wouldn't like try and make you get sick or do all these flips just to.
He didn't have to make me get sick.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
you did.
I get motion sickness on a swing. So,
Oh, okay.
But
And you still went up?
oh yeah,
See,
it was great.
I have no interest to go up, but if I had Nate Zajac as my pilot, I think that was the only one I said I would fly with because he's a pretty good guy. And if you're like, please slow down.
No, he was great. It was an awesome experience. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
What year was that?
Oh gosh, 2013, I think,
Okay.
right around there. Yeah.
So
Very
the
cool.
photos that we see on the screen, or that we were looking at, was that before or after your flight? Right here. There's one with your dad and your stepmom. Was that before
So the
or
left
after?
side, yep, that's after. And if you notice, my hair is like wet looking. That was sweat. The adrenaline that your body goes through. And then, yep, that's
Okay.
with my mom on the left. That's General Goldfein on the right when I was over deployed in
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, we do take a lot of incentive flight photos, and more times often than not, when we see the people come out, they'll be holding a little bag next to them. So
Yeah, gross.
Yep.
All right. So we did also have a picture of you getting chief. I think that was up there, but there you go. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's your commander there for
That
the
is, yep,
communications squadron.
Lieutenant Colonel St. Clair.
So, when did you move to the communication squadron, and why? That is such a change in going from maintenance. So you did engine shop, then you did the mock. Then I heard QA, and I kind of think I know what you did in QA, but I'm wondering if what you did in QA kind of got you interested to go to comm.
That's exactly it. So when I moved from the mock into QA, they had recently gone through a conversion of the position of the TODO, which is the person that manages all the technical orders, which is all the guidance for fixing the aircraft are in these technical orders. So they were digital at that point. So there was computers that they would use to read the TOs on, and previously that position just did that, and they were converting it to become a QA inspector. So you would be going out and doing aircraft inspections, and then also managing all the tech data. So I had applied for that job and was selected for it, and it was awesome. I loved my time in QA. I learned so much more. So as I transitioned, I started in the engine shop, I knew about the engines. When I went into the mock, I got to see the greater picture of the base in maintenance and how it runs and how all the different shops fit together. When I went into QA, even further, a little more in-depth knowledge of the systems and inspecting the different parts of the aircraft. But then also, I was the computer person for them. So I was, I went away to a school, got computer training.
Third school.
Well, it wasn't a tech school. It was it was an A+ certification school. So it was like a boot camp, we'll call it.
A+ certification. The civilian world will know that.
They will.
That's
It's not as relevant anymore now. It's Security Plus.
I remember
but-
when it came out, and it was
Yeah.
a really big thing. And just so you know, if you're in the Air National Guard, you get paid to go to school to learn that, and then those certifications can carry over to your civilian employer.
Very true.
That's
Yep.
great.
Yeah. So awesome. So I'm assuming that's what sparked your interest in communication.
Yes, yeah. So that was, I did about 10 years of that. And then there was an opportunity in the communications squadron for their operations superintendent position. And it would require retrain again. It would require another AFSC. But I was really interested in it. I was looking for a change. I had been in QA for 10 years at that point. I was looking for, again, an opportunity to move up in rank, and this would be an opportunity for senior master sergeant. So I applied for it and then was selected, and it was really exciting. It was a little scary because even though I had changed jobs before, I had been in maintenance group my entire career at that point. So now I'm leaving maintenance group. I'm going over to the other side of the fence, across the street.
I was just going to say that you literally cross the street.
Yeah.
So at Barnes, we have this one road, and we have all of our maintainers on one side, and then we have our support on the other side. It's just kind of the way it worked out. And yeah, it's a different group of people for sure.
Yeah, it's been amazing. It was definitely the right decision for me at the right time, and it's been very rewarding.
Well, I've heard so many great things since you've been over there. They're like, well, Kristen's got that, or Kristen's going to take care of that, or there's this new change that Kristen did, and everyone's like, they love it.
Oh, well, thank you.
No, you've done some great things. So at this point, when you've moved over to comm, how long have you been in the military?
So 2001 would have been 22 years.
2001?
I'm sorry,
did you join?
2021.
Okay.
I can't do math
I was
either,
like, wait a
apparently.
minute. I think we're around the same age, but so now you're promoted to chief. Now you're a chief. That's just
Crazy.
like this is the highest rank you can get in the enlisted.
I believe only 1% of the enlisted force makes it to the rank of chief. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
I always wanted to. As an airman, I really admired the chiefs and the things that they did and the care they took of the people. So it was always kind of a long-term goal, and it was always something I hoped I would get to. And so now being there feels kind of surreal, and I'm still in this acceptance process of it.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of taking care of people, I just want to let the guys and gals know that she's very much into trivia. And very often, I think it's Thursdays or Fridays in the lunchroom, you'll see her doing the trivia questions that she did the night before at like Applebee's or something. And she brings it to the lunch group, and they all have fun trying to answer the trivia questions. And
Nice.
yeah, it's a good time. We get together, see who knows what. It's a really fun time.
yeah, I like that. All right. So I just want to close with two things. What is something that you really, really, really like about the military or the 104th, and what's something you don't like?
Something I really like about the military is, I think, the person I became after joining the military. I was very shy when I was younger, and it really empowered me and really gave me a confidence that I don't know that I would have gotten with other career paths that I may have chosen.
Okay. Speaking of being shy, do we still have the pictures of, so right here.
Oh, yep.
So this is this shy Kristen Martin here. She actually dressed up as Rosie the Riveter and was placed on posters for an event we had. How old are you in this picture?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Like 21?
I was early 20s.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she was really shy, guys. Yeah. She was our poster girl, and she
So
walked
it's so spot on, though. It's great.
and she walked around the air show that year as Rosie the Riveter, and you could tell the older guys were like, "Oh my God, I'm going to dance with her" and stuff. So
That is actually one of my favorite memories. That gentleman. So our job was to escort in the World War II vets that were still in the area to the reception that we were having that night. And from the beginning, he was like, "I want to dance with you later," and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So he was like, it's got to be a waltz. But when the song came on that he finally approved was the right song to dance to, which that's a picture of us dancing. His eyes were closed and he was in another place, and it was
my gosh,
amazing.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's
it was,
great.
It was great to be able to
I like that.
Share that memory with him.
You know what? I think I want to stop right here. I don't even want to know what you don't like. For me, it was actually literally pulling on the boots. They were difficult, but I don't want to go there. I want to just end with that because you've just got such great stories, and they definitely overpower all of anything negative I can imagine. But so I hope that you spark some interest in some of our listeners, and maybe they'll ask us some questions in the comments, and I'll let you know what they say for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's it for today.
Yeah, unless we got any saved rounds, I think we are good. Make sure that you are checking out our Facebook and Instagram pages and our YouTube page. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. And again, if you have any questions, make sure to drop a comment, and we will do our best to get back to you. That is it for episode 4.
Wait.
Oh,
Like
I'm so
and
sorry.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Hit that like button.
All right, like and subscribe. Episode 5, we got a very exciting guest for you, so we're looking forward to that. So we'll see you in a month, and until then, check out our Air Scoop, check out all of our other content, and happy week.
July.
There you go.